Boys, he said, look into the cameras and tell the world what the greatest news is from the moon. From the moon, yeah. And the first fellow that they called Astor, I think his last name was Knott. And the first thing he said, do I have to tell Mr. Nixon what the latest news is from the moon? He said, certainly. He said, okay. He said, you asked for it, sir. You might think it's goofy, but the man in the moon is a newfie. He's sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. Codfish Dan from Newfoundland, he dreamt that he had 3 wishes. And he took Mars and all the stars and he turned them into big fishes. He said the sky was much too dry and he made a wavy motion. And the moon like a boat began to float upon the starry ocean. You might think it's goofy, but the man in the moon is a newfie. He's sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. Sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. One night he strayed to the Milky Way to cast his nets upon it. When he spied the tail of a great big whale, he harpooned Halley's Comet. He never had a putt for the fish that he caught, so he had to use the Big Dipper. And the sun, by Jove, was a very good stove for cooking up smelts and kippers. You might think it's goofy, but the man in the moon is a newfie. He's sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. Sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. I'd like to let you take a break in this, Bill, but I can't afford the time. I wouldn't want you to hog the show, being as how you're a Cape Britainer. The northern lights that seem so bright, like nothing could be grander. Well, they're just waves of the moonboat made by the Newfoundland commander. And don't you sigh and say, oh my, what gross exaggerations. He'll tell you the dream was true and Codfish Dan awakens. You might think it's goofy, but the man in the moon is a newfie. He's sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. You might think it's goofy, but the man in the moon is a newfie. He's sailing on to glory, away in the golden dory. Sailing on to glory,